What's up guys, and welcome back to another ArchiTech tour. We're continuing our tours here in London, and today we're in the middle of Marylebone here in central London to tour a new up-and-coming studio. We're touring Studio Tim Fu. Now many of you may have heard of Tim before. He is essentially the poster child of the AI wave in the architecture industry. Rewind 2 years ago, he was working in Zaha Hadid. Today, he's got a practice of around 10 people working on a few projects around the world. So we're going to be going in, having a look at their new young office, as well as sitting down with Tim and talking about the future of AI, how they're using it in practice, the challenges of being an entrepreneur and starting your own practice, and the future of how AI is going to impact architecture practice and the role of the architects. This should be a pretty fun one, so let's go and check it out. All right, we're here with the one and only Tim Fu. Thank you so much for having us. It's been a while since we did our first podcast, the first podcast we did 2-3 years ago now.
Yeah.
A lot of change.
Before the office.
Yeah, before the office.
So welcome.
Yeah. Maybe talk to us about the office itself. How long have you been here? How many people do you have here now?
Physical office, we just hit over 1 year. Since then, we've been growing. Maximum capacity is 12. We're at 10 right now.
Yeah.
Have some people away today. But yeah, we have our design crew all around us. And as you come over along, everyone's working on something. And then we have labs and tech crew on the side.
Okay.
So yeah.
Talk to us about that. You got the labs crew. Are they separate teams? Is it one team? How does that work?
Yeah, so labs is separate. Visuals will kind of bleed over into architecture team, and we're quite flexible right now. We still have a lot of projects that mingle in different sort of stages and with different type of clients. And you know, they all support each other. Our STF research supports both the visualization as well as design. Our visualization, of course, supports our design, and our design is the core team doing projects that are meant to be built one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've also now got a Viz side as well.
Yeah,
So
visualization.
you're already a company with 3 elements within it.
Yeah.
Where did the Viz came from? Because that's quite new, right?
Yeah, so we had discovered that AI can be used to visualize quite rapidly. And we're reaching a stage where it's starting to become competitive to the industry standard.
Yeah.
And so because of that, we are able to just deploy that process for pure visualization projects. And also there's a creative element to using AI for visualizing in ways never thought before. So some of our series that you've seen on the internet, like the living sketches, we've developed ways to narrate architecture in novel ways with AI. And so I think that's one unique aspect. So we have a team that can help do that type of process for various projects.
That's interesting. When you post that, do people come to you now to try and create that specific style, or is it like general styles?
Yeah. We have STF Visuals publishing these projects. We have STF Labs publishing technologies, showcases, and then we have obviously our main design studio publishing projects. Yeah. So different things come from different forms, and you know, it catches the interest of different types of clients. So you can see here that we have mostly architecture projects here and then visualization in this list. So we do have quite a lot of things, and visualization just literally we started about a month ago. And it's really taking off as a separate thing. So we'll just see where it's going. Interesting.
Do you find that's difficult to split the brand in like the Viz side and the design
I think
side,
there's caveats. You know, principally we're architectural design practice, so I do understand that there's a consideration to be made not to overbrand ourselves as visualization, because our core team is all registered architects doing architectural projects, and that is the core of what we've been for the longest time. Why don't you start over here?
Let's meet some of those guys.
Marco's here. He's leading STF Labs.
Okay, so my name is Marco Alfaro. I am leading the research here at STF. And my background comes from architecture and urban design. So it's a bit of a mix of both. And I came here to London to study a master's degree in urban design, and started working in SOM, which, as
Okay,
you know, they're doing urban design as well.
Yeah.
And I was experiencing an interest in AI as it was developing, and this is the reason that I finally ended up contacting Tim in a way.
Yeah.
Like, we met each other online because, you know, that's how
That's
it
where the
happens.
magic happens.
Exactly. We were just testing these new tools and seeing where it could lead, and we found similar paths that we found interesting. And I think that has helped us to create this collaboration as well, because we both share the same interest and the need and want to develop this technology and see how we can take it forwards in architecture.
Yeah.
So after, you know, talking and working on a few projects, we decided that you know, it was a great moment for us to collaborate properly and join his studio here at STF, and where I am taking all of these technologies and finding a way to bring them into architecture and urban design in a way that makes sense, that is useful for the industry, and that takes all of these technologies into the next steps for architecture and design. One of the things we have been working on, aside of the many others that you probably have seen already online, it's Urban GPT, which we aim to leverage the fact that we have this massive computing power to be able to apply it via Grasshopper and APIs using LLMs for urban design. So we're working on improving the UI, as you see right now, but the general idea remains very similar, which is to be able to have a set of constraints or information in CAD that then we can apply all of these AI-created typologies to. And the idea for us is to be able to really use the data that is existing, and also the one that we create ourselves. And by that, I mean the one that each project individually creates when you develop all of these plots and when you develop these typologies, to really massage and modify the project as we need. So we are working on improving so it's more user-friendly, but also has more information that we can manage, so we can really leverage the power of the tools that we have available. And of course, we're working to make it not only usable in terms of numbers and how we can extract information and modify information in it, but also to be able to visualize it. So in here, for example, we're asking, okay, give me 40%, 20% commercial, 40% residential, etc. It gives us the flexibility to ask and get information and processes that we can see in real time to modify a project. So
nice. And then this is your own LLM trained. I see you
Yes.
guys were also connecting that to Rhino in some examples
Yeah.
where you're typing things in. This is sort of the other half of that.
Well, yes, it's the industry standard, so we need to be able to make it easily accessible for architects and designers as well. So yes, we very much plug it into Rhino, but also we are developing our own front end so we can make it usable into different environments, right? Sometimes you need to really be able to modify every line, and sometimes you want to iterate on top of an idea, maybe in a different way. We aim to provide with flexibility in many ways, in many levels of precision. We can make it very broad, or we can make it very precise, depending on, of course, the time allocation we want to put into this. So yes, we're very excited about this one, and we will be sharing as soon as we have new progress that we are happy to share with the world. We will do so.
Hello, my name is Rada Daleva, and I'm the project lead here at Studio Timfu. So I've been responsible for overseeing different projects that we're working on different scales, different sizes. So unfortunately, most of the projects that we're actually working on are at the moment under NDA.
Yeah.
So we have two projects that I can share with you, something more that we haven't shared online yet.
Great.
Which is great. So the first project, we've shared a lot about our Lake Blade Villas. I don't know if you've seen about them.
Yeah. They're very cool.
Yes, so for that, we showed a lot of the final renders that we managed to achieve with our internal team, but we also developed a full architectural package for the clients, for the design concept. And so maybe I can show you some of that we've delivered to the clients.
Perfect. We'd love to see it. We always want to see projects.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so the concept design that we were leading for Lake Blade Villas, for showing the location, it's located in the beautiful Lake Bled in Slovenia over here. So this is their island that they have, and over here is the castle. So our project also has the views to the castle, and this is the site. First, because this package was prepared for the Heritage Agency, so they wanted to see how our villas are fitting and that they're not disturbing any of the current existing street views that are important. So they're actually very hidden. And also another view showing that the villas are actually very green and very hidden. And this is more the master plan showing all of the different villas, and this is the existing heritage protected villa, which is in fact one of the most protected heritage villas in Slovenia.
Wow. It's really surrounding. You've got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 villas.
Yes. So all of these are private villas to be hired, and this one is a communal villa where a lot of communal events could happen. And they wanted everything to be connected to the central core where there will be another sort of structure for events to happen outside. The elevations, which were important because we couldn't exceed the height of Villa Epos in terms of the roof height, so we had the limit and we had to follow it. This is early, the predecessor of the final, some of the final renders that are online. So of course, there's been a lot of work going on in terms of iterating. So this is early on, one of the renders we had, but of course, after that, we've improved it significantly. And here is how the villas would look from inside, from the development. So there are these very big arches, which was one of the main design elements that we were working on, referencing the existing architecture, which let me show you here. So this is the Slovenian gang, which is a prominent structural element in the area. And so we interpreted it in a new sort of future-forward way, making it more modern, and actually by doing that, we managed to turn the attic space, which usually the attic spaces used to look like that with a small window, because we needed to accommodate for a space on the roof and for a room, for a very luxury room on the roof in the attic. So by actually creating this big arch, we created this very unique architectural element inside, so it actually became a very unique space to inhabit rather than an undesirable space. And we brought a lot of light as well to the attic through that gesture. So it was beneficial in terms of heritage and internal space. So these are the prominent elements, the arches, the gangs, and this is how the development looks on the other side, on the street side. So here the arches are a bit smaller because it's orientated more towards the neighboring villas. So we didn't want to have it as big and as extensive.
It's nice. And where are you guys at with this project now? Are you in concept stage, schematic, or?
Yeah, so we finished concept and schematic stage, and it's now with the Heritage Agency for approval.
Okay,
so we're still
planning.
waiting, for planning,
Wow.
So we collaborated with the local architects for that, and they submitted the planning application together with us, and we are now waiting for their response.
Very nice.
I mean, there is a lot of details I can walk you through, but if you have some more specific questions, also in terms of the facades, we had to be very specific for the materials that we're allowed to use that are also local. The roof tiles are exactly the same as the ones that you have on the Heritage Villa. The window details were also important to make the arches open and work. So and then also the architectural plans for all of the villas.
I guess what part, when you're making the plans and stuff, is that you're just bringing it into Rhino and creating it manually
Yeah.
Was there anything unique from the AI perspective you used on this project?
Yeah, so it's a mixture. So we did do the more traditional way of bringing it into Rhino, thinking about the spaces sort of more manually, you could say. But we also did use some algorithmic optimization in terms of the lighting. So whether just calculating what is the optimal positioning for the lighting, was the optimal positioning for the gang, that we maximize for views, but then we minimize for light, and all these sort of considerations that are a bit more parametric that we were using in the design process.
Very cool. Very cool. And I
Yeah.
see you got another. Looks pretty
Yes.
tropical.
So here we managed to combine also a full video where we wanted to show the project from different angles and in terms of more create more storytelling. So we were designing, this is Marasi Red Sea. So we were designing a coastal development, which is really, really big master plan. This is only one very small part of it. We're working on other parts of it at the moment as well. But this is only the coastal part where we have cabanas, floating cabanas, hotels, villas, beach club, a lot of activities. And we were designing this holistic master plan proposal and putting together the final video in terms of storytelling of every single moment. And I think the most interesting part about this project is that there is zero modeling involved.
Wow. So
Yeah,
this is
it is still,
like, let's get synthetic in a
yes,
way.
yes, and we've tried to keep it very, very consistent in terms of the style of the architecture, the master plan. We have the master plan from different views. So if you see this side and then
That's quite interesting. So you guys basically designed the master plan, the massing, and kind of used AI to fill in the blanks of the detail, so to speak?
Yes, exactly. So we started from the master plan, understanding where everything is, how it's looking, the overall architectural direction based on the requirements we have from the clients. And then we worked on further details and smaller moments that we want to show and just try to keep it consistent. But everything was
And
was
no model of the master plan?
No model of the master plan.
Very cool.
Hi, I'm Saina. I'm the lead architect and visuals lead at Studio Tim Fu, and I've been working here for around a year now.
Nice. And so you're going to show us some of the viz stuff you guys have been working on. I know your kind of, what do you call them, your animated sketches have gone pretty viral.
So we basically had our visuals mostly in-house. All of them were our own visuals that we were doing for the projects, both in terms of realistic renders, but also as we were doing sketches for our projects in terms of concept, we wanted to see how that can come to life. So at some point I was thinking maybe we can animate those sketches to kind of give a conceptual, abstract experience of a project to the users without having realistic as we always do. And we called them living sketches, and it exploded on Instagram and social media. So we kind of continued it. We started with very abstract axonometric views of different forms that can be animated into sketches. Then we went into potentially doing more dense ones that is more interactive in a sense. Then from there, we wanted to explore it with actual real places in terms of, for example, Dubai, UAE, London. We did a different series for each of those spaces. And then we got into experimenting with iconic buildings that are recognizable in a second, but in a postcard way. So you see it as like a living sketch that is a postcard, but it's animated. And then from there, the one that exploded the most was basically Gaudi series, where we had Sagrada Familia, the Casa Batlló, and the rest of them kind of as a series to both show it in what it is, but also in an abstract way that is not really exactly the architecture that's there, or rather kind of create a new way of representing something, not necessarily being like-to-like copy of something. And I do have here the video that we made for that, so you can see the animations that happen.
So you talk us through the process. Do you start on like a Midjourney or Comfy or something to create the image? Then if this isn't giving your secret sauce away?
Yeah, no, that's
What's the
absolutely
process
fine.
of it?
So for these ones, we did use Midjourney in the beginning to get the sketch style. There are two ways to do it. One is that you can go from scratch as a text to image to get the sketch style images, but that only matters if, or it works if there is enough data in the data set for that specific location or building. So for example, Gaudi was one of them that had those kind of information, whereas if you want to go very specific to a building that is not that famous, then it's a longer process of kind of using your own hand sketches or kind of getting a retextured, restyled kind of image, and then from there work on it until it becomes a really refined image to then be animated. But yeah, the simplest way was for us for these series was Midjourney and then animating.
But you're also still hand drawing. That's quite
We
interesting.
do hand drawings, especially if we're doing the living sketches for projects that are in the pre-concept phase. To bring that concept and like hand touch to it, so it doesn't look too
the human
AI.
side.
Yeah, the human side of it, but AI in a way, kind of mixing the two of them together. And then from there, once we kind of put this out there, we start getting projects from different clients excited about the sketch style, and they wanted to try it for their different projects, whether it was like more in nature or it was buildings that wanted to be less focused on the materiality and the details of it, rather the concept and the experience. And from there we kind of started working with different clients on different parks and retail, mixed-use residential projects of different scales, and it's been going
And
both
the
in...
Viz side has just grown from
Yeah, now it's both realistic and sketch as a mix.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is there a particular model or something new that you're excited about right now in this space? I know a lot of people talk about like flux context and different
Tim
ones.
really likes flux,
Yeah?
but every now and then I find it useful, but I do have my own workflow that I stick to
You
most
have
of
your
the
own
time.
like secret workflow.
I mean, yeah, once you kind of find the workflow and certain images that work in your process, you kind of keep it to keep that style alive in a way. But
introduce us to, I hear this is the head of HR.
This is the managing director, Lol.
She's a famous dog. I've met her a few times. She's active.
Contributing member.
So you're 10
our
people
crew.
and then one Studio
dog.
Timfu dog.
Yep.
I am Abdelaziz Awad, and I am currently a student at the Bartlett School of Architecture at UCL, and now currently I'm working with Studio Timfu and specifically with the STF labs, and we are focusing in the STF labs about developing a new tools and how we can integrate it with AI and machine learning.
I heard you went through the infamous hackathon hiring process.
That's true.
Explain that process, what happened, and you came out as one of the winners, I guess.
Yeah, that's correct. The hackathon, it was really different. That's the normal how they in interviewing the people, how they accepting people from the CV, from their portfolio. But the hackathon experience, it was really different. And at the beginning, they started with us in specific questions, and then we have individual assessment, and we also have a group assessment. So yeah, it was different experience.
You didn't have like back-to-back a Midjourney off, like Midjourney battle.
Yeah, well, absolutely, that we should use Midjourney there. We should use, because it was a test about the AI tools and also sketching and how we can think, how we can be productive using the AI tools. And yeah, it was really excited, and Yeah, it was different.
So my name is Elahe, or Ella. I'm currently a second year student at the Manchester School of Architecture, and I've always been like really curious about different ways of exploring spaces and creating like new visuals. And so I wanted to experience both extremes. So I do a lot of hand sketches and like traditional kind of imagination and exploring ideas. And I wanted to explore AI as well. So when I came up in the Studio Team Fu competition through the PA Academy, so I thought maybe I should give it a try. And honestly, I wasn't really confident about the design. I was like, okay, is this like too much, too little? But try to keep it realistic. And I think AI did quite a good job. I was not expecting that. But yeah.
Yeah, so you joined through that competition.
Yeah.
You went through the competition, you were the winner.
Yeah.
And you got...
So you see, what I was seeing like mostly on social media and on internet at the time, people going like wild and like exploring out of space stuff. And I thought like, okay, I want to use AI, but not like that. Maybe keep it realistic.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. So I was like, yeah, let's give it a try.
And so now you're working for the summer and then you go back to uni at the end of it?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
So this is my summer internship.
Sure. Pretty cool competition winner.
Yeah.
Well done. Congrats.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys once again for joining, and thank you Tim for the tour and his team. Really interesting to see such a new young practice growing. If you want to catch the second part of this tour, we're breaking the interview into a separate video so you can watch the part 2 that will be coming straight after this. Otherwise, as always, if you like this episode, give us a like and a subscribe. The bigger the channel gets, the more offices we get into. So thanks again, and we'll see you in part 2.